Good morning. So it is now day 89 vlog. As I said yesterday, it's part 2 today of all my sort of health tests. These are going to be more active ones today. It's really weird. It's only 20 to 6, so 5:40. I woke up at 5:15 because I ended up, as the saying went the other day, everyone has a plan to get punched in the face. I punched myself in the face. I'm not quite sure how I did it. Because I'm just thinking, I said you had a dead arm, but I must have been sleeping on my arm. But I'm trying to work out how my arm would have fallen down and hit me like that. But obviously it woke me up, and then I realised I couldn't lift my arm up. I hate that feeling. Has anyone never, slept on their arm before and then it's like can't move, you're half asleep, like my arm's fallen off or whatever. But yeah, really strange. But yeah, we're going to look at some tests today. So there's some called the Rockport walking test, Cooper test. They're not maximum effort ones, but yeah, they're essentially looking at your cardiorespiratory fitness, your aerobic health, chemical VO2 max. But I've also found some VO2, well, not VO2 max. Well, I'm going to do a bleep test as well. But I found some reaction tests, some sort of sitting and standing tests, which apparently predict your life expectancy. So, yeah, a little bit worried about that. Let's hope I do better than that than the flexibility. But yeah, I've got about 5 or 6 tests, I think, today. No running. Going to go for a walk with my brother first thing this morning as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to cracking on. And then tomorrow we'll be doing some VE Day celebrations, so I need to prepare for that. But yeah, time to get out of bed. Sit-ups, press-ups. Not press-ups, actually. Sit-ups, breakfast, and then I've got a press-up test later, which I'm looking forward to trying as well. Anyway, time to get out of bed. Catch you in a bit. We're going to start with the bleep test, or beep test first this morning. If anyone hasn't done a bleep test, you go to exhaustion. They are not fun. I've done them at school and uni plenty of times. Essentially, there's 21 levels. You need a speaker. There's basically some audio and it's going to beep. And essentially, you have to get from this 20-metre sort of marking. So I'm going to mark out 20 metres. You have to get to the other side before the beep. And essentially, every time you get there, you keep going up to a certain point, and then eventually you won't be able to keep up with the beats, and that's when it's over. So that's the challenge, essentially. You've got to run until you can't keep up with those beeps any longer. So I'm going to take that outside, measure it out on my watch, and yeah, give it a try. I haven't done one of these for years. It's a very, very hard workout. So yeah, I don't know how hard I'll push. I'll try and give it my all. Obviously, got to be a little bit careful, but yeah, let's give it a try. Looking forward to having a go. Sort of, and yeah, then we'll go on to some submaximal VO2 max tests. Okay, so what I'm about to do is I'm about to go measure out the 20-metre distance with these two ping balls, and then essentially everything's all logged, the Bluetooth speakers attached. I'll be able to get going. I have got a fan here today cheering me on. Don't know if you can see him. SpongeBob is coming to watch. So yeah, I might need his support for this one. It's only 7:20. Not the sort of thing you want to be doing in your garden at this time, but got to. It's all for the vlog. Right, so it didn't go to plan with my watch because it took ages to get the first, 10 metres. So I'm going to have to use a tape measure now to try and measure out 20 metres. This is ridiculous, honestly. All this effort. Someone came round to measure, all your stuff in your garden, and they had it that twisted. You wouldn't sort of hire them, would you? I want to do 20 metres, and that's only 8. So it's going to go over onto the patio as well. So, yeah, I'm going to measure it out anyway. Finally get there in a minute. I'll tell you what, how about we do a 15-metre beat test? Because there's 15-metre ones as well. So, if that's the case, I would need to stop. Where is it? Here. Right, so I'm going to mark that out and then we can start. Okay, we're finally set up for the bleep test. A 15-metre bleep test. Got the Bluetooth speaker set up. SpongeBob's going to look after that while I run. And yeah, it's going to keep beeping. And then I've just got to keep going until I can't go any longer. Right, a bit worried about this, but here we go.
15-metre bleep test starts in 10 seconds.
10 seconds, right.
Level 1 starts with a double bleep after a 5-second countdown.
Here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start of level 4.
I'm sure these people doing 100Ks aren't all doing a bleep test. That's the fun.
Start of level 7.
I think you're slipping on the grass. Oh, I'm missing it nearly. Go on behind. One more chance.
Start of level
I'm
11.
too far behind. We'll take that, level 11. So yeah, as you can see, I'm not particularly, certainly not to exhaustion, worn out. Problem is, the grass is wet, so it's so slippy, and then I'm trying to hurdle over the patio. So yeah, level 11. To be honest, I could have done a lot more. I didn't feel too bad, so maybe we'll try that again at some point. But to be honest, I think if you're running 62 miles in one day in a couple of weeks, probably not a good idea to push yourself too hard. Now, of course, not everyone could go and do a bleep test. There's obviously a lot of people who would have heart conditions and whatever, so you've got to be a bit careful. So there are some alternatives. So we're going to have a little go at those on the treadmill. So we're going to do a Rockport walk test and a Cooper test now on the treadmill, and I'll explain those in the next clip. There'll be some pictures to explain them as well, so you might want to pause the video if you want to read it. Having a look at the data, anything from my age between 10.7 and 12.9 on the bleep test was a good score. So to get to 11, I was in a very good score. Pretty happy with that because I'm pretty certain I could get 12.9. I'm desperate to do it again now. I'm really keen to do it again, but I'm going to wait till I maybe find a better place to do it. Maybe some concrete and do it properly. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. So the Cooper test now, I've got to walk as fast as I can for 12 minutes on the treadmill, and then just look at my distance, and then essentially I've got to do a bit of maths, but I'm going to be really lazy. There's some online calculators. I'll type in my time and my distance or whatever, and yeah, we'll just see what it comes up with. But 12 minutes, that's all it is. Walk as fast as I can without running, and then yeah, should get a score. You can run for this one as well, but as I said, I want to try and show that there's another way you can do VO2 max testing and check your overall health, even if you can't push yourself to certain limits, whether that's injury or illness or, as I said, any medical issues you have. So let's give it a try. Looking forward to it. Okay, then the machine is on. It's a little bit blurry, but you can't probably tell. But I'm going to use this to measure my time. So 3, 6. I'm going to set it up to 8 kilometers an hour because I think after that I'd be running almost. I feel like I am already. 12 minutes. Let's get on with it. So you can probably tell by the whirring noise. And I look like I'm dancing in this hoodie. This is quite a fast pace. I'm going to try 8.5. Yeah, because I'm still not running. Right, so I've got to do this for 12 minutes. And then whatever distance I get, we'll use the online calculator to see what my score is for my age. I'm having to really concentrate because I didn't put on. There's a thing that you can strap to yourself, like a cord, when you use a treadmill, so it cuts out if you're about to fall off. I haven't put it on, so I'm really focusing on my feet. Nothing submaximal about this. I'm baking. This definitely isn't submaximal. I guess it's what you put into it, isn't it, really? It says walk as fast as you can before, without running. That whirring noise is getting on my nerves now. Right, and stop. Let's see where I got to, and then we'll input it into my tablet and we'll get a score. here is the Cooper test calculator. So I've put in that I'm male. If it lets me scroll down, 28. And then it says distance in meters. So I did 1.78k. So let's put 1,780 in there. And then calculate. And let's see what happens. This is so slow, this tablet, right? Oh, places me in the poor category. Your estimated VO2 max. Where's the data then? I don't believe that. I was walking fast. If anyone was walking as fast as I was, they would never be able to do it that quickly. So there we go. Apparently very poor. It's under one mile. To get above average though, you need to go over 2.4k. That is a lot. I'm not so sure I believe that. If anyone's walking that fast, they would look ridiculous in the street. Honestly, I'd power walking. Anyway, let's try the Rockport walk test. Let's see if that one's a bit more reliable. So I've been an idiot. I'm doing the Rockport walk test now. But the Cooper test, those results that put me in poor, it's because they were for running, not walking, because you can do it as a run or a walk. So I couldn't find any walking calculator. So read what you're doing before you do these. Right, I'm now doing the Rockport walk test. Essentially, this is definitely a walking one. I've got to walk a mile as fast as I can. Whatever time I get, I've got to record that, and then I've got to take my pulse. And then there's a formula, so we'll just use an online calculator to get my result. So this one should tell me if I'm excellent or not. I did work out, though, I used to run 10k at average pace of 6 minutes a mile. So if I'd done that, I would have been excellent for my age. So let's just say I'm excellent on the Cooper test. But yeah, if you're going to do these things, which I'm sure you're not, just read what you're doing before you start. Make sure you got it right. I don't know if I look it, but I feel very stiff. Like I'm needing to rush to the loo walking on this. But it says walk as fast as you can. It certainly isn't a run. Come on, Harry. Slowed it right down just to show you. So I did 10:46, but I just thought I'd show you. I've definitely gone over the one mile mark, which is 1.6k. So 10:46. I'm going to go take my pulse quickly now. Do you know, I forgot to count the timer. I'm just counting the pulse. 15 seconds, 14 beats I got. So I've got to times that by 4 for a minute. So 14 times 4, 56. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But 56, right, let's go put it into a calculator and see how good I am. I think I did pretty well there. So I'm inputting all my data here. Now I've just said I'm roughly 58 kilos because I reckon I'm about the same as Mo Farah. 28 years old, male, 10 minutes, 46 seconds it took me, and then 56 beats per minute. Let's calculate then how good I am. So what was my score? 74.5. Your fitness level, superior. I tell you what, I'm happy with that. I have to say I did walk very fast, but our treadmill, I'm not going to lie, the treadmill at the gym, I definitely couldn't walk that fast on it. So again, there's some variability on what the speed says on a treadmill, and there's so many other factors that, you know, I don't know if I'm doing 100% right. I don't even know if I've taken the beats per minute right, for example. So as I said, it's great to use this as a guide. I'd like to think I would be in that superior range anyway. So yeah, I mean, I'll take that. But as I said, you've got to take these a little bit of a pinch of salt. As we said yesterday of all the tests, you really want to know what your VO2 max is. The best way to do it is on a bike with a mask on, but go and get someone professional to run it for you. But again, if you want to do this as a bit of fun, if you can call it fun, I still think they're worth doing. That's been my favourite one so far. I did like the bleed test. The Cooper test I'm going to try on a run now, by the way. We are going to do it. That's a mission. I'm going to do a 12-minute run, and we're going to do it properly at some point, maybe on Friday. These tests are all done for this morning, but I have a few more to do this afternoon. I'm sure my brother wouldn't want me to be doing it on our walk this morning, so yeah, I'm quite glad I've got the hardest ones out of the way first. But we're still on a mission today, because my mum's obviously been shopping. And as you know, she loves, well, no, she doesn't love. She's very kind. She buys me all the fish, which I love. And essentially, she's bought me 5. So I've got this mackerel one, 2 mackerel ones, 3 lots of sardines there. And I think I've got tuna as well. I do. I've got three tins of tuna as well, so I've got absolutely loads in terms of fish. But the issue is none of them are in water. Now, I like my sardines in water, not oil and sauces, because I can then add my own things. My mum's adamant you can't get them anywhere. So we're going to have a trip to Morrison's first today, see if we can find some. If I don't find them, later we're going to do a trip to Tesco, because I think I can find some sardines in water. That's my mission. I'm going to prove Mum wrong, because Mum's always right. I'm going to prove this time Harry's always right. So that's my mission this morning. Mum, you're right. Nothing at all. So you may have just seen I've got my bag on my back today. Actually, no, you wouldn't have seen because I was just showing you the shelves, wasn't I? But anyway, I took my bag today because I want to have a bit more training in it while walking. So I got water, but what did I actually take with me? So sponges, more sponges. I don't even necessarily know what's in it. I know what some of it is. My lunchbox bag. Insoles. It might be everything. There's something else. Ah, I remember. Found my compass. That was in here as well. Honestly, no wonder I can't find all this stuff half the time. I've just put it in all sorts of places. It's so random. So, yeah, let's take some of this out. I don't think it's really needed for a 2-hour walk, is it? There is literally nobody about. We've been out, it's just gone 1 o'clock. We've been out for a little while now, nearly up to 30,000 steps. Yeah, this is the life. I cannot complain about this training I've had. Okay, so what you would have just seen is an answer from the BBC where essentially a sit-to-stand test can predict how well you're aging. So essentially it's a 30-second test, but I'm going to do a 60-second one because it's kind of for older adults, but they did say younger adults do it, and the average is 50 for a minute. And it is literally just cross your arms over like this, got my chair behind me, and I've got to sit and stand as many times as I can in 60 seconds. That's quite a low chair. But anyway, I'm going to give it a try. So 30 seconds was the one. I'm going to do 60 seconds. So the average for my age is around sort of 50. So I'm a little bit nervous now. I've just done one. Are we ready? I'm just looking at my clock, waiting for it to go back to the 6. And then we will start. I'm nervous. Right. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I can feel that coffee. 5, 6, 7. 32, 33, 34. Right, I'm going to see what that is for, or what age that's a good score for. I didn't find any scores for that one, so I feel a bit disheartened from it. So I found one more. It's called like a sitting rising test, and essentially this one is scored. So the maximum you can get is 10 points, and then 5 or 0. Essentially what you've got to do is you've got to, without using your hands and whatever, you've got to go from a standing position down cross-legged and then back up. Now if you go down and obviously don't touch the ground with your hands or your knees, you get 5 points. If you get yourself back up and do the same, you get another 5 points. Of course, if you fail at both, you get 0. So let's give it a try. I'm nervous first. There's no way I'm going to be able to get up without, using my hands. But we'll see. It's all fun, I think. So I've got to cross my legs as I go down. Now, you get as long as you like for this, by the way. Now I'm stuck. Right, let's just say I've got 0 for the getting down. Oh, come on, let's try it. No. Right, and now I've got to get up from a cross-legged position. And apparently this predicts as well how likely you are to live or die. So, right. struggle to get up at the best of times. Right, let's just try. I've got 0 points, by the way. No, see, I can't get up cross-legged anyway. This is how I get up off the floor. Right, well, there we go. I'm in trouble if that's true. One more go. Here we go. No. Anna. No. It's not happening. Not happening. Let's go on to press-ups. I'm still on the floor because obviously I'm useless at getting myself up. Press-up test looks really simple. Essentially, there's audio again, which will tell me how fast I need to go up and down for the press-up. Under 20 for my age is poor. So if I can only do under 20 press-ups, that's poor. And then I believe good was 45. So yeah, should be fine. Average was 35. So got to try and do at least that for my age. I think I can do that. I'm feeling confident. Time to play the audio. Then here we go.
We'll now begin the push-up section. Ready? Begin. Down, up, 1, down, up, 2.
What an annoying voice.
Down, up, 3, down, up, 4, up, 19, down, up, 20, down, up,
Oh, that'll do.
down,
Oh.
22, down, up, 23, down.
I got below average, 21, but I didn't want to get poor. See, that's why you shouldn't look at results or data before you start, because I could have done a lot more. But I've done a lot of weights lately, as you know, so got to be sensible. It's an excuse. I reckon I could do 30, though. That's quite tough, and that bloke's voice was really annoying. So yeah, going to have a bit of a break now, because I've got to do some more weights in a minute. Let's do a reaction test. How fast am I? We're going to go on the computer for that one. I found this, there's loads of reaction test games anyway, but I found this one that I really like. It's basically saying, find out in the emergency stop game how fast your reaction is. It's basically going to tell you how old you are, and you're doing like a car emergency stop. So yeah, we'll give it a try, and then it should give me an age. I'm going to have maybe 3 goes at this, because you need to kind of get an average. So yeah, let's give it a try, see what happens. Okay then, so how do I start? So I've just got to see the plus or the hand sign, and then I've got to click the key on my mouse just to stop it. All right, we're ready. Here we go. 33 years old. Right, that's not too bad. Let's have another go. I have 3 goes. Oh, I missed it. I think I was younger. Oh, 24. Right, one more go. That's younger than me. Come on, Harry. Let's get better. Let's get even better. Oh, 25. Well, considering I'm 28, I'll take that. I'm happy with that. 24, 25 and 33. And I'm 28. So I've got good reactions. It's one test I've done well at today. Come on, Harry. Okay, apologies if it's a little bit bright out here, but we're going to do something called a 1 rep max test. Now, I'm going to see if I can do a bit more than that anyway, and then we'll work it out as we go along. But essentially, what I've got here, this dumbbell I've got, is 2.5 kgs there, so that's 5. And then the ones on the outside are 1.5, so that takes it up to 8. And then the bar itself is 2, so it's 10 kg. Basically, you need to try and do 1 rep, and basically, you can only do 1 rep. If you can, if you do more than that, it's too easy, so you need to up the weight. But let's just try 10 kg, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to lift this anyway, but let's give it a try. Three. 5. 6. 7. 8. Right, let's say I can do 8 and see if we can use a formula to work out another way, because I think I could do 12 kg 1 rep max. So let's have a look at a calculator and see what we get. Encountered a bit of a problem. So I've just found a calculator online, as you just saw, and they said my 1 rep max after doing 10 reps for a light weight is 53 kilos. There's no normative data to compare to, so I can't compare my results to anyone else anyway. There is no way I could bicep curl 53.2 kilos in one go. Not a chance. That's almost the weight when I was at my lightest. There's no way I could lift my body weight. So, as we said, some of these tests, it's impossible to know. So just, if you're feeling like you need to lift some weights or whatever, just do it. Just strengthen yourself. You don't need a test to tell you how strong you are. You know, if you're struggling to get up off a chair, or you're having falls, which is probably a common reason why people who are older want to do these tests to check, just strengthen your legs. Practice getting up and down from a chair like I did that test earlier, and just lift some weights. You don't need to test it though, particularly. You just want to just better yourself. You know lifting weights is going to help. So yeah, that's my advice. But actually, I'm quite surprised. I didn't do those dumbbells as well as that when I bought them. When I bought them all those weeks ago, I have definitely got stronger. So that just makes me happy anyway. So yeah, that's it for today. That is it for all the tests as well. 2 days of tests. I've really enjoyed them, to be honest with you. Even as I said, there's plenty of limitations with some of them as well. And I think ultimately, the general thing I'm hoping everyone will gather from this is that if you really are unsure about things, go and get professional help. These are just a guide. As I said, don't worry that some say if you can't get a certain score, you know, you've got this wrong with that. That's not the point of them. As I said, they're just a general guide if you did want to. Ultimately, if you really wanted to do these tests properly, you go and do it in a proper lab, you know, at university or wherever, part of a study, things like that. But as I said, listen to your body. If you notice any change in symptoms of anything regarding your health, that's when you need to go and get it checked. But as I said, I've enjoyed doing them. I'm definitely going to have another go at the Cooper test. We're going to do it on a run at some point, but no running tomorrow. Tomorrow's VE day. Got a few ideas for it as well, so we're going to make it a proper full day. And I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll give that a try. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed these last 2. Sorry they've been so long. Again, thanks for all the support. I'll catch you later.